Good morning. Welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to be showing you some details of my seedling starter table. What this is two custom-made sawhorses with 4 slats. This is all 2x4s, and a roughly 4x4 sheet of 2-inch thick insulation on top of it. This is all designed to be stowed away during the summer because I have no room for something like this. The top part will be suspended from the center pole in the greenhouse, and it'll be suspended by these are two pieces of conduit. Well, let me work my way up to that. So the top part is the other half of this 2-inch insulation sheet. At the sides, they're going to have 2 1x4 pieces of treated lumber, and they'll be bolted right through from one through to the other with fender washers, and have 4, maybe 5 1/4-inch bolts on there. I didn't put that in here, but I probably will on the finished drawing. That gives me the strength to suspend this from the ceiling. These are 2 pieces of 3/4-inch conduit, electrical EMT conduit, which will have just your standard U bracket and screwed down to the wood here. They'll travel all the way across to the other side where they'll be screwed down as well. Let me show you this here. Everything's transparent now except for the 2-inch insulation. There's going to be an opening cut in the center, which is the same size as this light. I'll show you the light a little bit later. The opening has some, well, let me get out of here. The opening has some weather stripping around the edge, and what that does is there is a ton of water in the greenhouse, and any that drips onto this insulation here, if it runs towards the opening here, it'll be stopped by this. Otherwise, there's a chance that the light can have water drip into it. The top of the light, I don't have any of this modeled, but the top of the light has, I believe it's 2 fans zoomed into here. So the top of the light is exposed to this opening, and it has 2 holes for the fans. It's a very powerful LED grow light. I guess it's for, well, it is for pot. That's what it's made for. Not what I'll be using it for, but that's what it's made for. So it's a wide spectrum light with 120 what is it, 10 watt LEDs of mixed color that simulate daylight. So these get fairly hot, so this is a way for the heat to escape via the fan. When the fans are off, the heat shouldn't be able to escape through here. So the method that these will be hung is, I'm not sure if I'll use these pipes to hang or not, or if I'll attach some eye bolts to the wood here. Still pondering that. I don't have a whole lot to hang this from, so I'll have to kind of do that by eye once I get it further along. This right here keeps the water from dripping straight through the hole, so it would drip on this and then drip onto this is 1-inch insulation, this is 2-inch insulation. So this is just resting on here, if I have a problem with it falling off or something, I can always just poke some holes in it and wire it to the conduit. Okay, between this upper part and the lower part, all I'm going to do is staple some heavy plastic and drape it down. Then on the table down here, this will have 2 heating mats that will keep the seedlings at, I think it's between 75 and 80 degrees. And the reason for the thick insulation is because it could be below 0 that time of year. I'm going to start these in March. March 15th is when I'm going to start sowing the seeds. So I have to trap heat in here, and I have a thermostat and a fan that will blow air out if it gets too hot, and as it cools down, it'll turn the heat back on. So hopefully it all works out. I do have some initial drawings on this. Oops. Here's the overall unit, and here's some detail plans that point out the different elements. This is a drip shield, treated lumber strips. This is the exact model of light, 16,000 lumens, so it's pretty damn bright. They recommend 2 feet above the plants, and I've heard others say 4 feet is better, but I don't think I believe that. But anyways, this is just common materials that you can get at Menards or another big box store. So it should be pretty easy for anybody out there to make one of these if they so desire. I'm going to add one more page to this that has a cut list, all the different lumber and whatnot, what size to cut it, and some dimensions on the opening here, and basically a material list. If anybody wants it, I'll have it on the Mojo Prairie website, which I will put a link to. There's not a lot there, but I'll put a link to it anyways, so you can go check it out. Okay, that's about it. I based this around 2 heating mats because the size works out really well, and you can use half a sheet for the top and bottom. I have this 1 inch on hand, but this can really be anything, this drip shield up here. It can even be plywood. It's only got to be there for a month and a half, 2 months or whatever, until the seedlings get started and the greenhouse warms up. Once we get warmer weather, I won't need this anymore, and I'll switch the seedlings to pots, and I have a different setup for when it gets warmer and the plants are in the pots. There's actual benches that I've designed, and I'll show that at a future date. So very shortly I'll be building this, so subscribe to the channel and click on updates, and you'll be able to see this built, installed, and the seedlings planted in here. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.